The message I received said, "We are your brother guides on mission. We are like you in the ravine." That is, they were always there. They have been watching us all the time. That is, the fact that we have seen it coming is not because it just appeared, it was there all the time. March 30 and 31st and April 1st of 2014. The place, the Chilca Desert, 60 kilometers south of the city of Lima, capital of Peru. This was the point at which 22 people responded to a call made by the Peruvian Sixto Paz Wells, founding member of the contactless group Rama, who for 40 years has been claiming to maintain contact with beings from other worlds. This outing to the Chilca Desert, it was not a common activity to the others done by the Rama group. It was a call to the press, where according to Sixto Paz Wells, it would be possible to confirm objectively and for the media that the contact that he claims to maintain with the extraterrestrial beings is in force today. The previous call actually took place on March of 2009. At that time, we also had the opportunity to participate together with different international media, such as Teletica, Ecuavisa, Telemundo, among others. The results were overwhelming. At 9 o'clock on the night of March 30th, an impressive luminous object of a very intense red color was seen for almost a minute at the top of the ravine, like a kind of a huge crescent. I hope that it can be captured from here. It is a cylindrical object in a color orange, red, white, and that is moving. We're recording it from here. All the people are recording it from here. You can see the camera lights. Well-known television characters who gathered for that meeting could not hide their astonishment.
I feel that they need to make a much more overwhelming contact with us. So this message is still for very few, and this message has to be for everyone. Because we all really have to make the change. We all have to open our minds, and I hope it is soon. I hope it is soon. You guys saw it too, didn't you?
Of course, we all saw it.
It was obvious, right? There was no way to deny it. So good. Let's continue. Who knows? There we have something closer.
Today, the scenario was quite different. Despite having included several press media, one by one, for various reasons, they were canceling at the last minute, remaining for this opportunity, and exclusively only us, together with a score of people. We were there in the desert to corroborate that the anomalous aerial phenomena are present before this type of encounter. On the morning of Sunday, March 30th, the group settled in a point well known by the members of the Rama group. Here, an improvised camp was put up in a circular shape of a few meters beyond a small and battered awning. It was put up to guarantee some shadow in the middle of so arid and deserted place. The more than 95-degree temperature in one of the clearest days and in the midst of a scorching sun were not any impediment for those present to start their customary meditation and mantralizations practices. The practices, as understood, raised the vibration of the group and the place in order to more adequately predispose the so-called contact. During the next hour, the agenda would run in this way. Our job was to wait and permanently monitor the skies of the place. April 30, 31st, and 1st of 2014. We are about to start this day here in the Chilca Desert. Here, behind me, is the camp where the journalists and participants are summoned by the contacted and researcher of the UFO issue, the Peruvian Sixto Paz Wells. Undoubtedly, the expectation is great. We're going to camp here. We are going to stay here for 2 full days, day and night, waiting for something to appear and that we can see. So, join us. Sixto is going to tell us what's going to happen here.
Well, we have made an appointment, a ninth call to the press. This year, 2014, marks 40 years since the contact experience began with the so-called Rama group. where journalists have accompanied us on 8 occasions during these 40 years to meetings announced by appointments. This meeting has been, in some way, corroborated through sightings and experiences we have had since November of last year to this date. So we really have a great expectation of what, especially in this 9th call to the press on the 40th anniversary of the group's contact. The journalists be present with us, plus the people who have come that are accompanying us, backing us so that we have an experience that really marks a milestone. We have here present some advisors, external civilians of the Commission of Inquiry of the Peruvian Air Force. That is very important. They honor us with their presence and everything because the intention in some ways that we can all verify, corroborate, certify the reality of the UFO phenomena. And above all, of a step further, there are people who have already had that experience and that we have been able to maintain over so many years.
As Sixto Paz Wells explains, the main objective of this appointment in Chilca Desert is to verify, corroborate, or certify the reality of the UFO phenomena. For this, it was only necessary to be very attentive throughout the day, including the day and, of course, the whole nights. Well, we are next focused on Sunday night, March 30th of 2014, and the group are already analyzing in the last hours of this late tonight, waking absolutely all night to see what we can see from this famous place, the Chilca Desert, south of Lima, in Peru. Here, 20 minutes before 9 at night, we had the opportunity to witness the first sighting. Was like a luminous racing car, then like a stick of butter sliding on a hot griddle, crossed part of the valley in a southwest-northeast direction. The few seconds of this sighting prevented the cameras and managed to adjust the sensitivity necessary to be able to register it. There was a lot of emotion. It is going to be 6 in the morning and we have remained in this waking place practically all night, and the first rays of the sun begin to come out here in the Chilca Desert. And indeed, we have come here to witness what happens in this announcement that this press calls. We are in the 9th summons, and yes, indeed, they have appeared strange phenomena. For one side, we have had huge flashes of light that have illuminated large portions of the desert. At the same time, that the 22 people who are here had the opportunity to observe a highly luminous, anomalous aerial object traveling at high speed. We had the opportunity to observe an object slightly elongated, luminous object, gliding as if it were thus a stick of butter on a hot surface. Would advance, it was slipping. It stopped a little and went back to advance, and we all saw it. And really, it was not too high. It was interesting. But the feeling that I had in all moments that we were being evaluated, that we were really evaluating both individually and collectively, because today is the second day of contact. Really, something very important, something transcendental is going to happen. Throughout the second day, from very early, the practices of mantralizations accentuated, and that the sense of having been evaluated overnight remained very latent among the attendees. Then we wondered until what point the press called by themselves should also be evaluated for this event. We further disposed our attention to the heavens without much luck during the day, but falling into the afternoon minutes before 7 at night, this was what happened. A few minutes before 7 at night, this is what happened. 6:49 in the afternoon, March 31st, we are seeing this object that is just over the desert of Chilca at this moment. Look at the light also coming out. Do you have it? Can you see it? Yes, everybody's recording it. Richard, do you have it? Come closer, please. There it is. About 6:45 in the afternoon, and we have just saw an object that came from the sea, exactly to the west, heading towards the mountains of Chilca. We have been able to capture it, the 22 people who were there. Very difficult to define what it is, but if it is going to a mountain, a trajectory with a fairly intense luminosity that was increasing by moments until it disappeared. Take a closer look at the shots minutes before 7 p.m. today, the 31st of March of 2014, here in the entire desert of Chilca in Peru. Sixto, these are the first hours of the 1st of April. We are already closing this day, this vigil, this call where you invited us from the press and all of us who participated here. In this permanent vigil of 2 days, what is your conclusion of this experience that we have shared?
Well, there were really many corroborations, many confirmations for this meeting in the previous months, and in the messages, really, in which they hinted at the importance of this 9th convocation of the press to a scheduled sighting. We were told to be here for 2 full days, and we have fulfilled it. Since the first day we were here around 7:30 at night, more or less, we saw an object appear, a luminous, lengthened object that crossed not very high above these mountains, made its appearance on top of us, and the displacement that was as if it were a stick of butter on a hot surface that slid. It would stop and it would continue. The message I received said, "We are your brother guides on mission. We are like you in the ravine. That is, they were always there. That is, they have been watching us all the time. That is, the fact that we have seen it coming is not because it just happened. It was there all the time. It came and stood behind this hill that is there where it says 40 for the 40th anniversary of the group. There was an impressive glow behind."
Indeed, this is how we finished our day on April 30th, 31st, and 1st, here in the Chilca Desert, 60 kilometers south of Lima, in Peru, together with Sixto Paz, whom we already thank for the opportunity to participate in this journey, an experience where, without a doubt, very strange things occurred that I consider that everyone should experience at some point 40 years later. We can say then, Sixto, that the contact continues in force.
Certainly, that is why we are here in the desert.
Certainly, yes. I am Marco Barraza from the desert of Chilca in Peru. Until next time.